Hello everyone and welcome to this week's Facebook Live. This week we are using the Beary Cute Bundle, which is a stamp set and a punch bundle in our mini catalog. It is part of a whole suite of products. And I will show you that, but I also wanted to show you this paper is our give back product for this catalog. And this bundle also coordinates with this paper, so we'll be using it on one of our cards today. It's called A Walk in the Forest, and you probably remember it from when we used the Merriest Trees bundle because it also coordinates with that. So that's kind of fun. There are two different papers you can use, and I didn't mark the page. Here we go. So the Beary Cute Bundle is part of an entire suite of products. It includes the bundle, an embossing folder, these sparkly sequin gems, sparkle ribbon, memories and more cards, and the envelopes and cards that go along with those, and then a designer series paper, which we will be using on one of the cards today too. So you can buy the whole suite with one order number if you would like, or you can pick and choose different parts of it. And exciting news, all of the embellishments and ribbons from the mini catalog that have been out of stock are now back in, at least for the moment, besides the couple that have sold out completely. So you can get these right now. I also wanted to mention that our seasonal sale is going on. Today is the last day though, and this is a sale on products from our annual catalog, so not the holiday one, but the big one. 10% off ribbons and trims, 15% off of inks, and 20% off of papers. There are a selection of products that sold out. I mean, they'll be coming back, but not in time for the sale. But there's still lots of things available for sale. So this is a great one if you need to buy cardstock or things for your Christmas cards, like ribbons. If you need to buy some designer series paper, some of the papers in our annual catalog, I like the Color Family designer series paper stacks for Christmas cards. You can use some of those for the colors. And then inks, we had a color refresh this year, so if you don't have some of the new colors yet, now would be a fun time to buy them. And we're going to use one of the ribbons that is on sale today, so that's kind of fun. I do have a host code this week. When I'm done, shortly after, I will put in the description of the video a shopping link that has this host code attached. But if you shop using that link or this host code now through the 21st, I will send you a tutorial for the cards that we do today. If you spend more than $40, you'll get a card kit with the cardstock and paper pieces to put the 3 cards together. And then if your order is over $50, I will also include a package of rhinestones, which we're using on the cards today. So if you shop today, you can get in on the seasonal sale. If you want to wait on Tuesday the 21st, the last day of this ordering special, our last chance sale is going to start, and some of the products that are retiring from our mini catalog will be on sale. So you could choose which sale you want to take part of if you want to get this class for free. These are the 3 cards that we're going to make today. I chose some different papers to use to kind of show you some fun things, and we'll be using that Beary Cute bundle. Have you guys been enjoying that this week? I've shared a couple of projects already with this bundle. It's just adorable, and it is a product that is retiring at the end of our mini catalog. So if you like it, now is the time to buy it. Okay, we are going to start with this card first. I will give you all of the measurements in the video, but again, if you want a tutorial with written instructions, you can place an order this week and you will get that for free. So for this one, we are using some of the Beary Christmas Designer Series paper that coordinates with this suite. So I'm starting with a thick, basic white card base. I like the thick for card bases because it's just a little sturdier, and I believe the regular basic white cardstock might have sold out with this sale, but I think the thick is still in stock the last I checked. So if you haven't tried that before for card bases, that might be something to add to your order today and try it out. personally, I ordered 10 packs because I use it all the time. I think that order is supposed to arrive today. You might think this is kind of funny, but I don't think I've ever had an order arrive from Stampin' Up! That includes 2 boxes. Maybe one other time, but I ordered so much cardstock the other day that it's coming in 2 boxes, so that's kind of exciting. Okay, I have a piece of Mossy Meadow here that measures 3.5 by 4 3/4. And then I have 2 pieces of the Beary Christmas Designer Series paper. This one measures 1 1/4 by 4 5/8. And then this one measures 2 by 4 5/8. So I'm just going to adhere these with my Stampin' Seal Plus. That is my adhesive of choice, but you could use any adhesive that you like. And this paper is so much fun. Some of the patterns have little scenes on them. Some are more subtle. I love the Christmas sweater feel of some of the patterns. Now, before you attach this to your card base, you're going to want to wrap your ribbon around. And this ribbon is in our annual catalog, so it is on sale right now. It's the Night of Navy bordered ribbon. And I am just going to wrap it around and tie a bow. And this ribbon actually coordinates really well with this suite. It is Night of Navy, but it's kind of darker on the edges and lighter in the middle. And this paper, Designer Series paper, has both Night of Navy and Misty Moonlight in it. They're what Stampin' Up! Refers to as color buddies, so they have kind of the same tone. So I think it goes really well with the Misty Moonlight also in this paper. Let me find where I stuck my scissors over here. I'm making a mess today. Trim the edges of that. Now, I'm not sure how many of you are finding me live today. It's been a few weeks since I was live because we had relatives visiting. And next week, it is Thanksgiving, so obviously I'm not going to go live on Thursday. But I do have a recorded video to share with you next Wednesday. So make sure that you watch for that. It'll post at noon next Wednesday, the same time that I usually go live on Thursdays. Okay, so there's that. Then I have 2 circles that are cut with our Deckled Circles dies. This is a huge die set. The biggest circle is probably like this big, and there are a ton of different sizes, and they have kind of this textured edge on all of them. So this is Misty Moonlight, and then the basic white, and we're going to stamp in Misty Moonlight ink. Oh, I forgot to bring scrap paper. You know what? I'm going to use the back of my seasonal sale flyer so we don't make a mess on my background here. But I'm just using this little snowflake stamp that is part of the stamp set. And you know what? I probably should have done the sentiment first, but I'll just make sure I leave enough room in the middle. So here's our warm wishes. There we go. Scoot those to the side. And then I will attach this to my Misty Moonlight circle with my Stampin' Seal. And then we're going to lay this over the ribbon with some Stampin' Dimensionals. And then our last little touch for this card is some rhinestones. Now, one of the other products that is included in our sale is our Stampin' Blends markers. These are our alcohol markers, and they are really, really nice for coloring. And we'll use them for that on the other 2 cards. But you can also use them to color any of our ribbons that are white. You can use them to color gems like these rhinestones. So I'm using my dark Misty Moonlight because I want it to match my card. And I'm using the brush end, and I'm just going to color a few rhinestones to put on the card. Now, I do have to warn you, you need to be gentle with this, and it will kind of rough up the tip of your marker a little bit. So if you're planning to use your Stampin' Blends for this, just be prepared that your brush end is probably going to get a little bit roughed up. So if you're okay with that, then go right ahead. If not, you can just leave the rhinestones as is, and they'll look pretty that way too. I'm using my Take Your Pick tool to pull them off of here. And I'll just add a few to the centers of my snowflakes. Hi Joan, thanks for watching today. I'm glad you could join me live. We're in the middle of our first card. Okay, so I just added a few of those, and that's a fun way to make your embellishments any color you want. So I kind of like that. Of course, you could leave them just as they are. Rhinestones are my favorite embellishment, I think, because you can use them on anything. So that is our first card. Okay, time for this second card. Now this one, I have used the Walk in the Forest Designer Series paper. So that is the other Designer Series paper that coordinates with this set. And like I said, it's our give back product. So Stampin' Up! Is giving $3 of every package sold to Toys for Tots. And I think that's really cool. Plus the paper is really awesome. It coordinates with this bundle and the Merriest Trees bundle. So for this one, I have another thick basic white card base. I was not lying when I told you I use the thick basic white all the time. I have a piece of garden green that measures 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And then a piece of the Designer Series paper that's 3 3/4 by 5. So this is the back of this one. I like this one too. And the cool thing about this paper is some of the bears can be punched out with the polar bear punch. So I'm going to show that to you on this card today. This is a different pattern of the paper than the one we're using, but there's several sheets with polar bears that you can cut out. So I'm going to adhere this flat to my green. And this one just has a tiny, tiny border around the edge. Sometimes that's all you need. Like that. And then we are going to have a piece of cherry cobbler that is 1 3/8 by 3 3/4, and a piece of white that is 1 1/4 by 3 3/4. So we're going to use the Merry Christmas sentiment this time. And I have cherry cobbler ink. And I am going to stamp my sentiment, and you want to put it down towards the bottom and the right side, because we're going to be putting some other things on the card and we don't want to cover it up. So there's my Merry Christmas. Now while I have my ink pad out, I have another, just a scrap of white here, and we're going to stamp the gifts. There's one. And I realized I forgot to bring my stamp cleaner in here to clean this one off. You know what? We'll just do one and I'll add the other one later. So you see I have a green one here too. I forgot to bring my cleaner in though, so I'm not going to mess up my ink. All right, so for the gifts, I'm going to use my Stampin' Blends again and color a little bit. So this one I have a light cherry cobbler. And as I was using this one earlier, I realized I think it's getting a little low on ink. So I might have to place a second order for the sale and see what blends I need to order. I placed an order right away on Tuesday when the sale started and got all of my card stock. But now I might need to look and see what other things I need. So I am using the tip end of my marker just because the brush end of this one is a little messed up. So I decided to go with the tip end, but this is a large enough area. If your brush end looks fine, I would use it because your coloring will go a little bit faster on this large area. And you can see as I use it more, I think my ink is getting a little bit low on this one, so I guess we know what I will be ordering later today. Cherry Cobbler Stampin' Blends. It's so fun to have all these basic things on sale because that doesn't happen too often. Okay, so I used the light Cherry Cobbler. Our Stampin' Blends come in 2 packs, a dark and a light. And this one, I used the light just so you could still see the ink where I stamped it. And then we don't have Garden Green blends. So for this green one, I stamped it in Garden Green, but I used my light Mossy Meadow Stampin' Blends to color the stripes on that one. And I forgot my stamp cleaner. So we'll do that one later and add it to the card. Okay, I am going to adhere my sentiment to the Cherry Cobbler. And these are the same length. There's just a little edge on either side. And then we will add that to our other piece over here. Like this. Oops. It's going to line up with the Designer Series paper. I think my Designer Series paper piece is a little wide because I didn't have quite as much of an edge on that green as I thought. I must have been a little off in my cutting. Okay, before I attach this to my card base, I'm going to wrap my ribbon around and tie in a bow. This is a ribbon in our mini catalog, and I believe this one is carrying over. It is silver and white sheer ribbon, and I love this ribbon. It is so pretty. So all of these ribbons and embellishments from our mini catalog have been so popular. They have been out of stock for quite a while, but they are all back in right now. So if you are ordering on the sale and you've been waiting for some of these ribbons and embellishments to come back, now is the time to order. So I'm going to make this bow a little bit bigger, but not too big. I don't want to, I guess I cut myself plenty of extra. So we'll trim the edges because I don't need that hanging way off the card. Like that. And now I can add it to my card base. Just like this. Okay, now there's not any more stamping that we're going to do on this one. The other pieces come from the Walk in the Forest Designer Series paper. So this tree I've cut out using the Merriest Trees dies, but if you don't have those, you can just fussy cut it. So I'm going to add that with some dimensionals. And then the polar bear, well, I guess this one's not a polar bear. This one's a brown bear. We're going to punch him out using the polar bear punch. I don't think that's the name. It's probably the Beary Cute punch, but I didn't double check. They've started to name things the same in the bundle, the dies and the punches, but I don't know. Maybe this is the polar bear punch. I'm going to have to look now. So that's nice that he punches right out. If you didn't have it, though, of course you could fussy cut too. We're going to add him with a few dimensionals as well. Like that. And then I am going to fussy cut my presents because there is not a punch or die for these, but they're pretty easy. This one's just a rectangle. So it doesn't take too long to fussy cut. And then this one is just a square, and you've got to go around that little bow at the top, but nothing too difficult. I know I've asked this before, but do you like to fussy cut? Tell me in the comments. Are you a fussy cutter, yes or no? I don't mind it usually. And I do have to say that once I got a pair of the paper snips, it is a lot easier to fussy cut with our paper snips than it is with other scissors. So that definitely helps. Okay, I'm going to add the gifts with some dimensionals also. I think I'm going to put this one over here this time. And then we'll put this one over here. And if I remember later, I'll add the green one too. Okay, and then we're going to just finish off with a few of our rhinestones. And this time I'm just going to leave them as they are, nice and sparkly, because that kind of goes with the silver in the ribbon. But you could color them if you wanted to. So there we go. There's our second card. Fun, right? That one's more traditional Christmas colors. And actually, if you wanted to use a different ribbon, we have a pack in our annual catalog that's on sale right now that is real red and garden green. And I think that would be perfect with this card too. But I like this ribbon, and I wasn't sure that I had enough of the garden green ribbon to go around 2 cards today. So I thought I'd show you that one since it's back in stock, and it's one of my favorites. Okay, I think our third card is my favorite one today, and that's because of this paper that we are using. I don't know if you have seen this in our holiday catalog, but it is called the Snowflake Magic Specialty Paper, I believe. So it comes with 3 different patterns. You get 2 12 by 12 sheets of each one, and the colors are Coastal Cabana, Lost Lagoon, and then the silver and the white. And these are some of my favorite Stampin' Up! Colors, so I think that's why I like it so much. Plus it's shiny, so what's not to love about that? But I love this paper, and I thought it would be fun with the polar bears, so I went with it. And I'm also using another one of my favorite ribbons in our holiday catalog. This is the iridescent white ribbon, and this one is not on sale either, but it is back in stock after being out for a while. So you can get that too. So let's start. Let's see where I put this card. Here we go. I'm losing everything today. All right, so for this one, I have a Coastal Cabana card base. That is not a color you would typically think of for Christmas, I don't think, but it is the color of the snowflake paper, and I love Coastal Cabana, and I love non-traditional Christmas colors for Christmas cards sometimes, so I went with it. This piece of the snowflake paper is 5 1/4 by 4, and we'll just lay that down flat on our card base. Like this. Then I have cut a scalloped rectangle with our scalloped contours dies, and this one I cut out of Lost Lagoon, so that's the other, I believe this piece of the snowflake paper is the Coastal Cabana, but I should check. They gave us a chart about what they call the color buddies. Lost Lagoon and Coastal Cabana maybe are color buddies, but I thought they went together well. So 2 5/8 by 3 7/8. And we're going to start with our sentiment. This is the 3rd sentiment in the stamp set, and I think it's my favorite. Christmas is better together, which I think this would be the perfect card to send to any family member, because Christmas is better together. Excuse me. I'm talking too much. I need a drink. Okay, so we've got our sentiment. I'm going to set that ink aside because I am going to use it for one more thing. And then I've cut a second piece of white. That's just kind of a scrap. And I put both of my polar bears onto one block so I can stamp them at the same time. And I am just going to stamp them in Memento black ink. So there are 3 polar bears in the stamp set. One will fit the punch, and then there's these 2. They do not fit in the punch, but they are super cute. And then there's a little scarf in the stamp set that will fit on, I think it just fits, yeah, it just fits the 2 larger polar bears. But you can stamp it right on there like that, and I love how it fits in there perfectly. And then we're going to use Stampin' Blends on this card too. So I'm using light gray granite. You could also use light pool party. I like that for shadows and shading. But I saw someone use the gray granite for the polar bears, and I thought that was a nice color for them. So I thought I'd use gray granite today. So I'm just coloring a few like shadow lines. And I saw this on someone else's card, so I'm just kind of copying what they are doing. Kind of where, well, I shouldn't say that. Where the shadows would be, because I never know where that would be. So I always copy what other people do or make it up, and I think it'll look okay. How's that? I don't think, if I don't know where the shadows would be, you probably don't either. So it doesn't matter, right? Okay, and then we're going to fussy cut these polar bears. So if you don't like fussy cutting, you might not like these cards, but none of it is too difficult. So I'm just cutting around the edge. I might go a little bit slower if we're not doing it for you. I don't want to make you wait too long, but these are not really that hard to cut out. And like I said, the paper snips make it really easy. So there's another question. Do you have paper snips? And if you do, how many pairs do you own? I saw a conversation, I think it was in one of our demonstrator groups recently, about how many paper snips people owned. And I think I heard somebody say they have 15 pairs. I have 3, and I thought that was a little excessive. But, you know, it's because I think I have 3 pairs. No, I have one we got from Stampin' Up a few years ago. But the only reason I had 2 pairs before that is because I lost a pair and couldn't find it. And then, of course, after I bought the new pair, I found the old pair. That's okay. I'm always losing my snips on the counter when I'm working. So if I have 3 pairs, I am more likely to be able to find one of them when I want to use them. All right, we're almost done here. Don't want to cut off his little foot. Here we go. Okay. So we will lay this one down flat. And it will fit right in that scalloped rectangle. And then the polar bears I'm going to add with dimensionals. We'll just put this on right here. All right, and then of course we have to finish off with a few rhinestones. Oh, and our ribbon, we can't forget about our ribbon. Okay, so we'll add a few rhinestones. As you can see, I love rhinestones. I have a whole bunch of them. If you love rhinestones too, remember you can get some for free with your $50 order this week. And the card kit to make these cards. So I won't include the ribbon and embellishments. You can use whatever ribbon and embellishments you have, or add some of these to your order. Any white ribbon I think would look good on this card. I was thinking the white glittered organdy ribbon would look really pretty on this card too. I think it might currently be out of stock, and I am out of stock of that one too. I ran out. So there we go. There's our 3rd card. Let me bring back in the other 2. So you can see all 3 again. Which one was your favorite today? This one is my favorite, but I like them all. I think this set is adorable, and definitely one that you will want to add to your collection. And if you are loving the Beary Cute Bundle, make sure you check out my card club this month, because I use this bundle. So these are the cards for my card club this month. This club is $39 a month. You can join or cancel anytime. So if you just want this month's kit, you can sign up and you can cancel. But you get supplies to make 8 cards. So 2 of each of these. You can add on the bundle if you want, or you can substitute something you already have. Maybe you already own the bundle. Maybe you're going to buy the bundle today and get the card kit for free and then join the club and make these cards too. But you can use what you have at home or add it on. I always include usually a half pack of the Designer Series paper, a roll of ribbon, and an embellishment. And then I cut all the cardstock for you. You get envelopes, you get directions, and then you get to make the cards. So this club, the deadline is the 20th, so you have a few days yet. And then they'll be shipping on the 30th of the month, so you'll get them right at the beginning of December and still have time to make these for this Christmas. And I think they're super cute. This is the sparkly ribbon that's a part of that suite. And this is more of the Beary Cute paper, which I love. So I will put a link for my card club in the description of the video too, if you are interested in that. And then I do have some swap cards to show you real quick before we go today. This one is one I made earlier this week. I don't know if you noticed it, but this is our, oh, what is it called? Soft shimmer paper, I think. It comes in really pretty colors, and it is part of our sale. But the Night of Navy piece goes well with this. There's also Lost Lagoon sparkle paper, which would go really well with this snowflake paper too. So that's kind of a fun specialty paper that's on sale. Then we've got some swap cards. I was trying to figure this one out. This is like sparkly. I don't know if I think she added Wink of Stella to it. This one is from Aurora Tucker, and she used the deckled circle dies. And then this is the embossing folder that's part of the Beary Christmas suite. So she used a bunch of products from that suite. This one too, the deckled circles, so that's one of the larger circles. She fussy cut the scarf, which also looks cute, and did the embossing folder on that circle, which is fun. That one does not have a name. Okay, this one I think is cool because it is something different to do with just the punch. And I love this ribbon too. And this is the Joy of Christmas Designer Series paper, I believe. This one is Susan Campfield. I thought that was a fun use of the punch. Here is a piece of that Beary Christmas paper, so you don't need to do too much else to make this a fun card. She's used that scene as the background for the card. That one doesn't have a name either. No one put their names on their swaps. Okay, this one's kind of fun. She tore the paper to make like a snowy edge, and then this is cut from the, or probably punched from the paper. This is one that would fit the punch. That one is Lynn Streifert. This one, we've got our Stylish Shapes dies, and this is a pattern in the Beary Christmas paper also. That one is Lonnie Pilar. This one, more cut from the paper. See, it's so cute. I love the paper. And then the snowflake stamp and the warm wishes. That one is Betty Weisbrick. This one, again, uses the embossing folder. And this tree is in the stamp set, too. I didn't use it today, but that's kind of fun. Oh, and look, she did the shading with the gray granite, too. Just a little subtle touch. That one is Julie Beltramo. Oh, and the last one is this. I think this is one of our masks, maybe, the snowflakes. And look at this. She did polka dots on the present. That is so fun. That one is Kelly Schutte. So those are the swap cards. Lots of ideas with the Beary Christmas suite for you. And don't forget to get your card kit this week so you can make some Beary Christmas cards too. Thank you for watching today. I hope you have a great day and a happy Thanksgiving next week. Happy stamping. Bye.